Hello and welcome back to the Nine Sports Podcast Hockey Edition. I am your host, Maya Smith, and I am joined by the pretty much co-host at this point of this podcast. She's here super often, which we love. Alyssa Turner. Hello, how's it going?
Hi, I love being your co-host. This is a dream.
I love it. We're like reprising our old days of actually
hmm
co-hosting a podcast, so
I love it. I
I'm
love
here
it.
for
It's
it.
so seamless. It's a lot of fun. So thank you for having me.
Exactly. Well, welcome back. I was thinking about how I was trying to make plans for like what I'm gonna do for the off season because our other two sports that we cover on this podcast, like basketball and soccer, they both have leagues that like run kind of at the like throughout the whole year. And hockey is just like, okay, so we're done now and we're not starting again until November. And they're not even doing worlds until November this year either. So but the league has just decided to keep us going with the craziest off season we've ever had. So there's so much to talk about. Let's start with the number one at the nine. So the number one at the nine is your top headline of the week, and it involves new investments in the PWHL. So this is the first time in the league's history that there are any outside investments other than the like original founding group. And we have two new companies that are going to be investing. Kilmer Sports Ventures. It was reported that they will be investing $100 million into the league. They are the owners of the Toronto Tempo of the WNBA, and they also have investments in other Toronto sports franchises. So that's kind of the Canadian wing, and then also Ilitch Companies, which that's the company that owns Ilitch Sports and Entertainment, which is perfect for the shirt that Alyssa's wearing today. Actually, if you're watching on video, because they are kind of the ownership group of the Detroit sports landscape, and also have been not obviously monetarily involved directly with PWHL Detroit, but Chris Ilitch, who's involved, he's been around a bunch. And so, yeah, those are the two companies that have kind of joined as investors. An interesting thing that I want to touch on a little bit at some point today, Alyssa, is that it was revealed by one of the board members that there isn't going to be any increase in player salaries or league funding or anything like that because the league is currently not making a profit, which is like surprising but also not surprising, knowing what we know about sports leagues. So, first, I'm curious about your thoughts when you heard about this announcement.
One, it's exciting.
Mhm.
You said the $100 million figure, and I think the hair on the back of my
Oh,
neck stood up because there was never a world until recently where like I ever thought I could imagine that type of money from an outside investment standpoint. I also think this is the step of what's to come. I'm not at all shocked that the league is not making a profit. It's very common.
mhm.
If you look into not only other women's sports leagues, but if you like go into the history of men's sports leagues, like if you want to take like a bit of a more recent one, you could look into the National Lacrosse League. If you look into their finances and stuff, that's all pretty common. You have to consider, salaries, paying for rinks, paying for travel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's pretty normal. So if like anyone as a fan hears that, please don't be spooked. It's normal. I think the fact that they're receiving this investment, both from a monetary perspective, but also from like a, hey, we are bringing these people on as investors, is really exciting. I
Mhm.
think this is the point where I've been kind of banging this drum for a while. Like people are like, you're expanding too quick, da 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 da. They want to stay at 12 teams for a while. And from my understanding and from my gut feeling, the reason is because they want to get, they want to get to a point where all 12 teams are privately owned and then maybe expand. And then it's going to become a bidding process to expand. And then that's where the league starts to make more money. And then that's where we see, you know what I mean? So, like, this is the
Mhm.
foundation. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know a lot about I know some about business, sports business, like the behind the scenes in terms of like ownership. I'm learning as we go on here, but I think when you look at the history of other leagues, this is a really, really, really good sign, and I think it's just the first two of many to come here.
Totally. And I don't think that Mark Walter would tell you that he and Billie Jean King got into this business to turn a profit in 3 years.
God no. And if they did, like I would ask, like, is everything okay? Like you're a billionaire, bro. Like
Exactly.
if you thought you were like, I was like, maybe you shouldn't. Like there's no way. Like it
No.
this I think if you were to ask them and if we were to see the behind the scenes of like what their plans were, I feel like they've exceeded that.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm sure there's moments where they're like, damn, like maybe we could have made more money here, da 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 da. But overall, I feel like they've done, at least to their standard of what they were expecting to do, I think they've exceeded that. So
I agree. Yeah.
I think it's exciting. I think when it comes to the money stuff, and like, we recently had the salaries become public and all that stuff. So like the money topic in the PWHL right now is a little weird just because like there's a lot of unknowns. However, I think all of it's positive.
Mhm.
Obviously, it comes with negatives and it comes with stress and it comes with anxiety and worries. However, like I think overall it's a really good it's positive, and I think it's a good sign. In Detroit, like the Ilitch company, like they own the Red Wings, they own the Tigers, but not only do they own all that, the Ilitch family and the Ilitch company owns so much real estate and so much, like they own Little Caesars, like
Mhm.
that's them, that is them. Like they are a pizza people, like that's, so not like they own so much of Detroit. And I think of a future here where there's going to be a possibility where, maybe there's a rink that the PWHL and maybe the WNBA team both like play out of and train out of. And like, you know, if you get the guy that owns most of the real estate and most of the money and most of the like everything in the heart of the city on your side, from the team has only been announced for a few months here, if you get him investing early like they have, like that's a really good sign. And I think that shows the outside like they are excited to be part of this league as well. Like I think it's
Mhm.
all a good thing. It definitely comes with like some questions and some anxieties and stuff. And it's a bit weird to say that all these people are investing hundreds of millions of dollars. Cause I'm like, what do you mean?
Where do you
But I know
how do I get
overall,
that?
it's like a fake number to me.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's a really, really good sign, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see where we go from here with it. Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like I know too much about this part, but I feel excited about it because like I just know that the league must feel like they're in a good spot where they can start taking on those extra investments
Mhm.
and trusting more people and bringing in more on their like board eventually, because that's not what this is. They're not like on the full board fully, but
No.
they're just investing in the league. But I feel like eventually that's where it might get to. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing. It's exciting.
Yeah, and to your point, like there's no signs from the league and any of the stuff that they've stated about this that these people are going to have decision-making powers.
Correct.
And I think there was some concern about that because, it is, if you are not a PWHL Detroit or Toronto Scepters fan, it can be disconcerting to see, oh, the
Mhm.
league has brought in investors in these markets. What is that going to mean about my market? It's not. Like
No.
these people are not making decisions. It's just more money to move towards what we want, what the league wants. And also, as you said, like it is exciting that these are outside forces that are getting involved. This isn't just like more money from the Walter Group or things like that. This is like outside people. And yeah, I don't think it means that right now Detroit is getting anything that nobody else is
No.
getting. But in the future, it could mean that instead of selling the Detroit franchise off to some random investor, they can sell it off to the people who know Detroit sports,
Mhm.
and keep it in the city. So
And who have also been
I like that.
investing in the league, right, since the
Hmm.
team's first year. So, and I'll be honest, like I don't think this is going to be the last of these investments. Like just
No.
based off of my gut, I don't know anything from like a reporting standpoint, but like the fact that there's two already, we're sitting here on June 23rd right now recording this,
Hmm.
but we're a couple months out from the league starting, like the season starting with 12 teams for the first time. Like I don't think this is going to be the last one we see. I'm not saying it's going to happen from now to the start of season. It could happen mid-season. Who knows? I just think it's a really good sign that they have two really strong and really reliable investors,
Hmm.
one American and one Canadian. I think that's a
Hmm.
good, and like they're not just these like random people. Like back in my day, we had people investing in leagues that like had like weird Russian ties and like
Hmm.
weird, like they had like real estate in Russia in the midst of the war that is still going on, but it was like really at the height of it at the time. And it was like, okay, the players getting paid, the employees are getting paid, so that's cool. But we skipped over a thing.
Yes.
Can we go we back it up a little bit? Like we talked the Russia thing. What do you mean real estate in Russia? So like this is coming from two groups who are already putting in, well, at least the Toronto groups, like already committed to women's sports in their city and in Canada as a whole. And then you look at the Ilitch group and like they're really new to investing in women's sports, but like they've had, they've been with it from the jump. Like, like they ran the press conference when they announced the team. Like Chris Ilitch was up on the stage with Manon Riom on when they drafted Brandley in the second round. Like, I think like it's a good sign that it's not just some random like massive investor that's like, hey, but where are you from?
Yeah.
Does someone bet this? Exactly. Like, you know who these people are from a public standpoint. Obviously, like, at the end of the day, they're billionaires. However, to me, like, I can't get upset that these people that have a history of investing in sports, not weird Russian real estate, are buying into the PWHL. I think it's exciting. But yeah, I keep being like, back in my day, and it was like 5 years ago. Like, not even.
It feels like so long ago. But yes,
I've lived so many lives.
It's reputable, and like we've already seen in Toronto how people have, just like adored the tempo, how many like local Toronto and Canadian celebrities are involved in that. Like it's just kind of, I think, showing the direction that things could go in for the league in the next however many years. So
yeah, and like you look at the Toronto investors, like they own the tempo, and the tempo share a building with the Scepters. Like they have that relationship, they're in the same facilities, they each have their own locker room in there, like they're investing in both, and I think it's really exciting.
Yeah, and they do have ties to Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, which is either a red flag or a green flag or maybe a beige flag, depending on what the day of the week is. But it's not the same as Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment buying into the league.
What I'll say about that perspective is, so this is the Larry Tannenbaum group. So I don't know the exact number, but it's like less than like 20% that he still has a share of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. And from everything reported and from my understanding over the last couple of years, like his share with that is eventually going to be bought out here. So like you have to keep that in mind too. Like he is aware that he's going to be bought out from that. He gets money from that. Like the fact that he's investing right now in the PWHL, like as he's there from a business side going through a transition, like that's exciting. Like, get rid of your men's sports and come get more women's sports. Like, let's do it. Let's do it, Larry. Come on. So yeah, there's no red flags for me. Like, they're billionaires at the end of the day. Like, I'm not being like, yay, billionaires. But also, if you're going to support this league that deserves it, and these athletes and these fans and these media members and these employees, then I'm like, okay, yay, billionaires, I guess.
Yep, exactly. We all have to reckon with that at some point in our fandom. But let's talk a little bit about some of the other, free agency pieces, because somehow the draft was last week, but it feels like it's been years since then. Yeah. I'm looking at my list of like all these people. I want to start with Blair Turnbull. Very exciting. Congratulations to her and her partner. They announced their pregnancy. The baby is due in December. And I think there were a lot of questions before this about what is going on with Blair Turnbull, because she wasn't protected in the expansion process, but she also wasn't taken in the expansion process. And then she didn't, there was no like deal done right away when free agency opened. This answers a lot of questions.
Yes.
But it's also the first time that we've seen this happen in the PWHL, a player going on maternity leave. She's missing at least the beginning of the season, but likely most of the season based on that due date. And yeah, I'm just, it was interesting to me when I was like going to report on it, because I was like, I feel weird reporting on someone's pregnancy announcement, but like also she's a pro athlete, but like also like there's just so many things that you don't have to think about until this is like the first one.
Yeah, I think this is just like the new reality.
Mhm.
Like this happens in from what I've seen more, it happens in soccer a lot more.
Yeah.
Um and I think it's like the first of its kind in this isn't me being like there's no moms in women's
No,
hockey who have carried
we
like
know there are
Natalie
moms.
Spooner is her teammate here.
Yeah.
But Natalie Spooner had Rory like before the league started. Like Rory was at the draft, the first draft when Toronto selected her, I think in like the third or
Mhm.
fourth round or whatever it was. But this is the new reality. And I think seeing the support from the Scepters, like with their post and like, you know, she's still going to be involved in the team. Like that just shows me that she, one, is committed to being a Scepter for a little while here, but also like the team is supporting her in whatever way that is. And I think that's exciting. Yeah, I also feel a little weird. I'm like, okay, how do we approach this? What do we do?
Yeah.
What do we do? But I think it's exciting. It'll
Mhm.
be cool. Like it sounds like she's still going to be around the ring. Like I'm assuming she's probably going to use their training facilities to like, you know, she'll. I don't really know how it goes with getting on the ice at certain points of pregnancy, but
Mhm.
like I'm sure she's probably still trying to skate right now. Like it's
Yeah.
she's Blair Turnbull. Like knowing her, she'll probably be on the ice as much as she can until she can't. I just think it's in our new reality, and I'm super stoked for her because
Mhm.
there was a time where she played for the Calgary Inferno, and this wouldn't have been a thing.
Nope.
She, say she got pregnant back then, like she wouldn't have the support. Obviously, she would have had support, in terms of like the team being like, you have best of luck and pregnant. Like they would have supported her as a friend and as like a
Publicly. Yeah.
teammate, but it's not like hey Blair, like you're pregnant, you can come hang out at the facilities, you can
Mhm.
work out, you can use our massage therapist, you can do all this, like da 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 da. So it's a new normal, but it's an exciting normal. It also puts Toronto in such a weird spot in terms of on ice because, whoof.
Yeah. I did see somebody was like, "So what is Toronto gonna do now?" And I replied to them and I was like, "Probably draft first overall next year."
Yeah,
But not because not be just solely because of this pregnancy
no,
announcement. They've
no.
had really, really strange roster building this entire expansion. We're gonna talk about one of the players that they're losing next here. But yeah, like it's really great and like kudos to Blair for being willing to pave this road as well
Mm-hmm.
for the people who come next. And I think it's going to be it's a loss to them on and off the ice and it's just like okay, now if you're Gina Kingsbury, what decisions are you making to fill
Mm-hmm.
this and soon probably.
Yeah, like they're one team like I'm really worried about because it seems like they brought back a few players and stuff, but like we're about to bring her up, but they lost Emma Malte, and like not only from an on perspective, like that's a massive polarizing player from a branding perspective, and this
Yeah.
comes after a year where they lost Sarah Nurse.
Mhm.
And it's just it's gonna be a really interesting year for Toronto. I could low key see them being a sleeper team though. Just like, a young team who goes into the season like, nobody thinks we're gonna do this, guys. Like let's screw
Let's
it.
do
Like
it.
let's
Yeah.
shock the world. Like I'm not saying they're gonna push for a Walter Cup. However, like, I'm intrigued to see how it goes. I'm a little skeptical of the coach they hired. I'm starting to be really skeptical about what Gina's doing because
Mhm.
like I just I'm confused.
Yeah.
I liked their draft. I really liked their draft.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, Reagan Kerr could be prepared to play
Oh.
every game and face like 50 shots because that's another person. So Elaine Chuli also left. She was the backup goalie this year. She's
Mhm.
going to play in New York, probably have the starter role there, which is
Which
really
I
exciting for
love
her.
for her, by the way. Like
Mhm.
that's I've
She
been
deserves that.
I've worked with Chu for a while in different teams, but like I've been a huge fan of Chuli since she played in the CWHL in China. And like for those who are
Mhm.
like China, like did Alyssa mean to say that? Yes, I said China.
Yeah.
Like I've been a huge fan of her. I think the fact that this is an opportunity for her to take a starter's role is amazing because like she had a bit of a weird year in Toronto, but everyone did. I'm excited for her. New York's another interesting team.
Yes, they are. Okay, so Emma Malte leaves Toronto. As you said, like it's a big blow on and off the ice.
Mm-hmm.
That her and Nurse, I think, are two players who are like impactful on the ice, or yeah, on the ice, but off the ice are like the glue of the locker room, the
Mm-hmm.
like team, like everybody loves them on the team. So Maltese signs in Montreal, which like they also picked up Jesse Eldridge. They are looking extremely dangerous
That's
right
the
now.
best forward core in the league.
Yeah.
Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? They just won the Walter Cup. And
Exactly.
then include a healthy Poulin in that. Like, include a healthy
Mhm.
Poo because, like, she won PWHL playoff MVP, and people are like, well, it should have been like Davian. And, like, yes, I agree. But they're not winning the cup if she's not there. And she was playing on one leg. Like,
Mhm.
as someone who's watched her since I was a little child, like, anyone could have told you that was not her. She was not herself. Like, she couldn't even accelerate. Like,
Yeah.
it was like she was going off of pure will and air. Like, she
And
was
still the
just,
best player.
and still the best player. So, like, best forward core in the P Dub, a healthy Poo. We don't know if she's getting surgery. We don't know what that looks like this
Yeah.
off season, but we don't. I'm sure if she gets surgery, we're gonna hear about it. But, like, scary.
Mhm. Well, I think I said like I don't know if I tweeted it on my private Twitter or not, but I think I said like Emma Malte is gonna look amazing in Victoire colors and lifting the Walter Cup next season as well because it's just hard to bet against them at this point.
I don't know how you do,
Yeah.
because in the past the issue was depth scoring.
Hmm.
It was like, okay, we have the Poulin, Stacy, and then whoever we put on their wing.
Yeah.
Last year it was the wife line with Rock. And speaking of players who are sticking around when it didn't seem
Hmm.
like it, every Rock said, "Oh, there's a team in Detroit. Okay, maybe eventually I'll go, but
Yeah.
I like this team. I like playing with the wife line. This team is fun. It brings out the best of me." And now you look at their depth. God.
I know. It's
Jesse
scary.
Eldridge, who, like, was unbelievable the back half of the season
Hmm.
last year. Emma Malte, who had, in terms of, I think, like, I'm a massive Malte fan, but I think over the last, like, couple of years, and I say years because not just seasons in the PWHL, but I think also from a Team Canada perspective, I don't think she's been her best. She does more than just points. I will say that,
Yeah.
but I will say, like, it just seems like a change of scenery
Hmm.
is going to be really good for her. And not only a change of scenery, her and Pooh are quite close. Her and Stace are
Yeah.
quite close. Her, like, Jesse Eldridge is there. Like, there's so many players there that, like,
Collecting the Team Canada
mhm.
players.
It's
Yeah.
holy moly, that's gonna be a I would not want to play that team.
I think Dylan and I talked about this a little bit, either when the Victoire won or right after they won. But they they added Rock, and her energy and physicality is one of those things that got them to the Walter Cup and got them that win that they didn't have that before. And I think Malte also brings that. She is
100%.
energy, she is physical. So yeah, and I as you say, I think, if you've been at, and we'll talk about this in a sec here, but if you've been with a team for 3 years and you're just maybe not exactly where you thought that you would be points wise or whatever, why not try something else? Change it up.
Yeah. And she posted, a lot of people have seen it by now, but she posted a very raw, emotional, and honest
Mhm.
TikTok yesterday. Or yesterday or the day before. I can't remember which day it was actually posted. And, like, to me, it just shows the human side of the game a bit more. Like, you can be like, oh, like, my team lost this player and stuff, but there's a lot more to it. Like,
Mhm.
there's a lot more to it, like, especially in free agency. And, like, this isn't your typical, the league is not at a point where signing free, like, their unrestricted free agents doesn't work the same way it does in other leagues right now.
Yeah.
And I think it showed the human and emotional side of it. She has ties to Montreal. She mentioned her boyfriend's family's from there. She has family there. We've already mentioned it. She has so many friends and former teammates and current teammates now
Mhm.
on that team. I'm personally looking forward to TikToks with her and Pooh.
Yes.
I hope they bring back the tortillas because I need to see Pooh smack Emma in the face with a tortilla again really badly.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think her TikTok really, like, opened up, and I think fans, like, kind of stepped back a bit too, and we're like, damn, like, I considered this, but seeing it is really eye-opening, and like there's more to this than just my team let this player go.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think Emma brought a lot of light to that.
I'll leave the video linked down below. I didn't want to play it in the episode because I didn't want to like steal Emma's intellectual property. But yeah, she just kind of talked about how like she's been on edge for these last 2 weeks, knowing that she was going to sign in Montreal before like the announcement came, and how much she was worried about like letting Toronto fans and the Scepters down by leaving, which I think she did talk a little bit about how it's different in men's and women's sports just because like women often have more emotional ties to the decisions that they make. I'm not saying that that is not like, I mean, there's been some trades this week where I don't think there was much emotional things going on in the NHL, but I don't think that like male players also don't feel this way, but nobody is saying this. And
Correct.
that is one of the things that I admire most about Emma is her like openness and her ability to use her platform to talk about that and just say like, I'm excited to go to Montreal and I feel bad and all of these things can coexist at the same time and I'm playing hockey.
Yeah, it was really mature, and like I love Emma Malte's content and her as a human and as a hockey player. Like one of my favorite follows in the sport. Like
Me too.
not just because she's hilarious and like she posts about like the products that she uses. She posts a lot of PR that she gets, but like this type of content is like really, really eye opening to me because like you just don't see this very often. You get it sometimes in like interviews or like articles and stuff, but this is like, Emma sat down in her Toronto apartment, set her phone up, and was vulnerable for the world. And I think it's really important. And like I already said, like I saw a lot of fans like, be like, I didn't really consider this aspect. And it's like, I think it's a really important conversation to have because there's been so much change in this league. And whether you agree with it or not, or you're neutral like I am, like I think it's a good thing, but I also like think it's hard on fans, and I totally resonate with all that. This is the reality, and this is what it takes to build a long-term sustainable league where we're bringing in these partners from Detroit and from Toronto who are investing $100 million. Excuse me, like this is why this all happens. And it's not just like, hey, I'm leaving Toronto and I'm doing this, or Toronto's like, Emma, we're not re-signing you. You're telling me Toronto didn't try their asses off, like their butts off to get her back? Come
I'm
on.
sure. Yeah.
Exactly. It was refreshing to see, and like you can tell she really cares, and it's nice to see a hockey player care. And I know women's hockey players, like I've never had that question about that with most players in the league and in women's hockey as a whole, but to see it face firsthand, an Olympian, like when the news came out, like even like when people reported it a couple weeks ago, like it shook the world, like it shook the hockey world, like a women's hockey world a little bit. And like to see a player, sit down in their Toronto apartment, which I'm sure they're moving out of it in a couple months, like, and record that video, like, it was refreshing to see. And Emma, you're probably not going to listen to this, probably going to watch this, but thank you for your vulnerability because I think it's really important and it shows the human aspect of the game.
I agree. Yeah, I did a story on Emma and her like social media a couple summers ago.
I remember that piece.
Like,
it's so good.
Thank you. Those music videos and things like that she does. But yeah, just the duality of what she's able to do with her platform. And I think, as you said, it put a lot of people at ease, opened up some kind of views that people might not have seen. So kudos to her for doing that. And Montreal is going to be very dangerous next year. A couple of other signings we'll just quickly run through. Noemi Noibarova and Emma Newtonen, both who were playing overseas last year, signed with Seattle. Jenna Buglioni, who was with Seattle, did not get like any ice time. There's like a whole deep dive to be done into that.
Interesting thing.
She was also their first pick, I think, that they ever picked.
I got the PR email from that, and I was like, the headline and like the subject line was like, Ottawa acquires former first round pick, and I was like, what?
She was.
And it was nothing on her.
No, it
Because I
was
know the name and I know she played at Ohio State University. Like, I know she was really good in college, but I was like, she went in the first round. And then I look up 2025 PWHL draft. I'm like, and then I look up her stats. I'm like, what happened here?
yeah.
What
Oh, yeah.
happened? Maybe it
It's
wasn't a
really
fit. Maybe
weird.
it just didn't work. I don't know, but I'm really intrigued by this for Ottawa. I like it. It's a low risk, possible high reward. Like, I think I'm excited.
I
I just
agree.
thought
Yeah.
I could not believe that. I was like, what?
I know. And I like, I don't know, maybe when Sylvia comes on next we'll talk about this a little bit more, but she asked me to ask about Buglioni's ice time towards the end of the season when the Torrent were in Vancouver.
Yes.
And yeah, they were just like, we're evaluating every player. And it's like, yeah, but it's kind of weird to not have your first overall pick like getting any minutes. So
Yeah, you used you franchise's first ever draft pick on this player, and she's averaging less than 10 minutes a night, and not even in situations where she can thrive.
yeah.
Like, yeah, weird. I'm really intrigued by that. Something I'm gonna watch for sure, because like there's a reason she went the first round. I think there's something there, and it's just weird. It caught me off guard. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to watch for sure. Hoping for good things for her in Ottawa. Detroit signed Elise Philbert and Olivia Wallen, two players who also one who was a reserve player, and then Philbert has never played in the PWHL. Also interesting. As well as Biotti Markowski and then Channel Watkins from Vancouver. Um, Channel Watkins is from Detroit or Michigan.
Lots of Michigan talent coming home. Abby will be ready for you in 2 years.
Exactly. In a couple of years, yeah.
Uh,
Vancouver picked up Dominika Leshkova, who hasn't played in the PWHL much since
that's a
like in the
dog,
last
by the
year and a
way.
bit. Yeah,
She's
I
had
think
some
that'll be
injuries. She's also really good friends with Venetia. They are
Mhm.
besties. That is a pair that you will have a treat covering. I'll tell you right now. They are
Yeah,
so funny. They are so fun to watch.
I'm definitely
If you
excited.
can get a healthy Luskova, she's a dog. And she's also a player that can play forward and D. Like, she plays up and down the lineup. She'll do anything. I really like that signing. And I think if you can
Mhm.
get her if she's healthy, she's there with her best friend. She's probably gonna live with her. Like, they're so close. That's a dog. Like, she was unreal during the T6 Isabel Cup run in the
Yeah.
final season of the PHF. Her and Venetia, like she played D that season, but she was just a dog. Like, she's out there in PK. She'd be out there in the power play if we need her. She can do anything when she's healthy. She just had some really crappy injury luck over the last couple of years. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. And Venetia also needs to have a bit of a bounce back year. So
Yep.
hopefully
Bringing in
combined.
her best friend, who she loves playing with too. Like, I think that's a great call. Like, I think
Yeah,
that's a good choice.
I love it. Also, former Toronto Scepter and Team Italy Olympian Kristen Della Rovere joining Troy Ryan again in San Jose. And Abby Levy also went out there. This is, we'll wrap it up here, but I really hope that she gets a new set of pads with
With that orange.
yeah, with the San Jose team,
Oh,
whatever, like with water related
she's
and like
gonna.
orange and
She has
blue,
deals with, I think she's with Bauer. She has deals with them. Like, they
make it
um
happen.
also, before we wrap up here, I really love what San Jose is doing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Troy,
Their draft was
Troy
really
buddy,
good.
Troy buddy, I see you. I see you. You're doing your thing, and I love
Mhm.
it.
We're eating
Um
our words, Troy.
yeah, and I wanted him to succeed there, and like, obviously, once the season starts, but I really like what San Jose is doing. Um that's a team I'm stoked for. Layla Edwards, we haven't talked. I wasn't on last week
Yeah.
after the draft, but Layla Edwards being the face of your damn franchise, sign me up, book me in. That is amazing. Good for her. Good for them. Troy, buddy, keep it going. I'm stoked for San Jose. I don't know what it is. I love them.
One of my friends texted her friend and was like, "You need to get PWHL San Jose season tickets right now." And the friend was like,
Do
"I
it.
just put down my
Do
deposit."
it. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great investment, and also, especially season one, like, prices are going to go up. Look at what's happened in Seattle. I don't know what's happening in Vancouver, but Seattle prices, like,
Mm-hmm. And they didn't even
doubled.
have a good season.
They didn't have a good season, but they sold out a bunch. And like,
Yeah.
so if you live in one of these new markets, like I'd get those season tickets if you can afford them. I'm not telling you if you can't afford them to do it, but yeah, San Jose, I really like what they're doing. I'm really excited. I don't know.
It's gonna be
It's like,
good.
other than Detroit, like one of that's a team I'm stoked for. Also, the team I'm most excited to see their jerseys / team logo and team game here. Because damn, that orange, whew, it's a good. That's a good orange.
Great. And then we'll also just give a quick shout out to our favorite PWHL goaltender, CJ Jackson, for signing 2 years, I believe, in Seattle.
It's my
Very
dog.
excited for them.
Also, happy belated birthday, Siege. Yesterday was their birthday. I love this. From my understanding, Siege loves Seattle as a city and as a community, and like as a queer person, it's a great city to live in because like it's welcoming. It's also gorgeous. Like, I love this. I think Siege brings more than just what they bring on the ice, but also that's part of it. Like what Siege brings as a third or even second goalie in practice. One of my favorite things about CJ as a goalie and as like a player is the compete level they bring in practice. If you have the opportunity to go to a morning skate that involves a Seattle team, like CJ brings that level of compete out in their teammates. I think it's a great investment. I think I'm stoked for CJ. Shout out to my dog. I hope you ate so many hot dogs yesterday.
And if you're listening and want to come on the podcast,
please,
we would love to have you this off
Missy buddy.
I don't think they're listening, but if they are, shout out to them.
I'll reach out. Buddy, well, come on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Alyssa, as
My
always.
Pleasure.
And we're still going this off season, so we'll be here every week as far as I know. And yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.